Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to stand before Judge Omotosho of the Federal High Court. The federal government will be restarting Nnamdi Kanu's case. This is an exploitation of justice. Nnamdi Kanu has said in the past that he's going to beat the federal government at their courts. For some years now that Nnamdi Kanu has been going for trial, the federal government has not been able to secure a conviction on Nnamdi Kanu. Now, political solution was advised in the first place because they tried with all their count charges. They could not find Nnamdi Kanu guilty of any of these charges. So under Tinubu, they are restarting the case with a fresh judge, Judge Omotosho. This is an exploitation of justice. One of the reasons why Igbo people all over the world support Nnamdi Kanu, amongst other agitators. Some people asking the question, why is it that Igbo people, an average Igbo man, supports Nnamdi Kanu? An average Igbo man. Over 90 million Igbo people all over the world support Nnamdi Kanu, whether the person is in Nigerian government, a politician, whether the person is a businessman, rich or poor. Nnamdi Kanu garners the support of majority of the Igbo people, especially my own support. I have said it in the past that I prefer Nnamdi Kanu to Ojukwu. Ojukwu had a role he played in this Biafran agitation, but my support stands with Nnamdi Kanu above every other agitator, whether it is Uwazurike, whether it is Simon Ekpa, or whether it is Ojukwu. I have my reasons. Nnamdi Kanu is the only Biafran agitation that gained support from a vast number of people across boards. Some Yoruba people, they support Nnamdi Kanu. Some Hausa people, they like Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu has become an inspiration to Nigerians. Look at what the Ijo were saying the other time. Let us join the Igbos agitating. It is because of some of the framework that Nnamdi Kanu set down when he started his Radio Biafra. Many of my Yoruba friends loved listening to Nnamdi Kanu when he was doing his daily broadcasts in the evenings. So Nnamdi Kanu is the only Biafran agitator that has gained a wide range of support from Igbos and non-Igbos. Let me tell you the reason why I prefer Nnamdi Kanu than Ojukwu. I've asked this question over and over again. Ojukwu declared Biafra. However, counting the costs of the war, I had an issue with that. Let me not go into that one. You fought Biafra, you left, you handed over. You came back into Nigeria. Effiong that handed over stayed until his death. You came back into Nigeria, got into politics, created a political party, and wanted to become president of the same Nigeria you fought. Make that make sense. Okay, let's assume that Nnamdi Kanu, as you see, with all the pressures, with all the reports we are getting, with all the allegations that the federal government is dangling something around him to compromise. One of the reasons that he has been given over time is to stop this Biafra agitation. We'll find a political solution. Because if you look at all the count charges they are wanting to use to nail this man, they could not nail Nnamdi Kanu. Because there's one factor in the whole of this case. How did Nnamdi Kanu move from Kenya into Nigeria? That is the only thing that is holding the Nigerian government. That is the only thing that has indicted the Nigerian government from nailing Nnamdi Kanu, from sentencing Nnamdi Kanu or finding him guilty. That is the only thing. How did Nnamdi Kanu move from Kenya, place A, Kenya, to place B, Nigeria? So that illegality in the court of law, they could not prove it. Effiong did not dabble into politics. He stayed put. Respect to the people that fought Biafra with him. Respect. But Ojukwu came back, created a party, ran for presidency, and at the end of the day, he was buried with Nigerian flag. Although there were politics around it, they put Biafra flag. Now there's a wife of the same Ojukwu aligning with the government of Tinubu. Remember, after Ojukwu wife were appointed, that's when they got Simon Ekpa. Dr. Damage's broadcast with Simon Ekpa After that, all those whatever broadcast, after Ojuku's wife was appointed Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, there were allegations and reports that she pressed some buttons and now Somenekpa has gone under. So the only person that I'm going to stand and say this man sacrificed his life is a true agitator. It is Nnamdi Kanu. Why would I not support Somenekpa? I've said it. Whatever these agitators have done, they have contributed their quota, the way we all are contributing our quota to this agitation. But one will stand out amongst all, and that person is not Ojukwu. To me, personally, that person is Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu will be standing before the court today, will be defending himself. The last judge said that this guy is very intelligent and he knows what he's doing. Nnamdi Kanu is somebody that if he starts speaking now, he's one of the persons that made me endeared myself to the Biafran agitation and ideology. Because over the years, I've been asking questions about Leave Wazirike. I've been asking questions about why did Ojukwu come back wanting to become a president in Nigeria? Why is the wife F Young, who was his deputy, till his death, he did not get involved in Nigerian politics. Respect to the Biafran people that died. But you see, an Ojukwu, those that fought in the Biafran war, an Ojukwu, where they are with their ancestors, with God or whatever they are, you will be seeing Ojukwu contesting as president in Nigeria. What do you think they will say? So, with this viewpoint of mine, I've been able to establish personally why I approve of Nnamdi Kanu. See, forget all these things that Tinubu is doing. The federal government cannot secure a conviction against Nnamdi Kanu. The only thing that they can use to break down Nnamdi Kanu is just do something funny. And if you do something funny to Nnamdi Kanu, it's not going to be funny anymore. It is not going to be funny because this man commands respect, commands the loyalty of Biafrans all over the world. All over. He's the one that has the spread beyond Igbos into Ijos, Niger Deltans, Ibibio, Ishakiri, Yorubas. Most of these people respect the person of Nnamdi Kanu, the only agitator that have revived the consciousness of the African people. This is Nnamdi Kanu. Today he goes before the court. They are restarting the case. What will happen? Let's be looking at what will happen in the court. But I don't think that a Tinubu will release Nnamdi Kanu. Looking at the justice system in Nigeria, the one you just saw now, the one you saw with the Supreme Court and Rivers State, the one you saw with the elections, this particular institution under a Tinubu administration, a Tinubu regime, would not secure the release of Nnamdi Kanu on a justice ground. It is all politics. This is how it plays. I said it before. Tinubu is using Nnamdi Kanu to play chess. He's waiting for Northerners to run mad, which the Northerners, they know that they don't need to run mad under a Tinubu administration. Tinubu is going to use Nnamdi Kanu as a bargaining chip in whichever way. He has so many games he's playing on so many fronts. Whether using APC whether using urbanization, putting his people in very sensitive position of government, putting them chief of army staff, Yoruba man, IG of police, Yoruba man, Judiciary, Yoruba man, INEC very soon, Yoruba man. That game is playing that game. You see, when you put your people everywhere and they are the ones controlling the system and they are loyal to you, whatever you say they do, it is not the people that will determine who becomes president 2027. It is the system, because it is proving that the people do not matter before your eyes. The politicians have proven that you no matter for the scheme of things. So what Tinubu is doing with Nnamdi Kanu is that he's using Nnamdi Kanu as a wild card. If the Northerners, if the Fulani, because they are majority in the Nigerian army, if they want to do anyhow, However, Nnamdi Kanu will be unleashed. Sunday Igboho will be unleashed on them. Then we will divide the country. But there's one thing the Fulani never ever wants to happen at all, is division or restructure of Nigeria. That is one thing. They never want to hear division of Nigeria, restructure. Never. So they will pipe low. I don't know about this coalition they are doing. You see Atiku and Erufai. I don't know. Obi sent his representative. Coalition. I believe coalition is different political parties coming together. Merger is political parties entering themselves and forming one party. Merger. Coalition, you maintain your structure, your party structure. I maintain my party structure, but we are coming together to unite and work together, respecting our party structures with our interests on the table. So merger is what APC did. CPC enter into ACN, ACN enter into CPC. They now put it A, they remove the N, they remove the first C in CPC. They put A, they remove the N in ACN, APC. So that is this merger. If Fulani want to run crazy in the north, Nnamdi Kanu will be unleashed. But fellow Biafrans, I'm speaking on this topic because I want a system change. This particular Tinubu we are seeing would not want to release Nnamdi Kanu without compromise. The system, we know the system is rigged against the upright man. The system is rigged against people who want to follow due process. So you don't expect Omotosho to deliver any judgment short of what the federal government is standing the agenda of the federal government of a Tinubu. Tinubu is not the federal government. There's no opposition whatsoever. So Tinubu's ambition is to complete 8 years. And if Nnamdi Kanu will foment trouble for him, he will not release him. You see, there's one thing Nnamdi Kanu is expected to do, not to drop Biafra agitation. And that not dropping Biafra agitation will keep him there, and it will be like Nelson Mandela. And the guy is never, he's strong. I say this one person that I've seen that is willing to sacrifice himself for his people. Nnamdi Kanu is one person willing to sacrifice himself. He damn pleasure, he damn family, everything. Then he is fighting for the Igbo people, the Igbo man. These Igbo men, very, very difficult people. Very, very interesting and very difficult when it comes to uniting to fight a cause. So he had to put himself as a sacrificial lamb. He's not perfect. He had made mistakes in the past, but still he's the best. So we pray that he, as he goes to the court this morning, we pray that the God that guides his children will always be with him. It always be with him. He's exposing the Nigerian government, the Nigerian system. He's exposing the inequalities, the injustices the Nigerian government have been carrying on the Igbo people for a very long time. History is repeating itself, and that is what you are going to see in the court this morning. Somebody was asking me, what do you prefer, Biafra or an Igbo nation in Nigeria? That's a big question. You prefer Biafra or an Igbo nation in Nigeria? I sat down and I thought about it. And I said one thing. You take one step before the next step. when you are dealing with these politicians in Nigeria, these evil people you are seeing, most of them are your brothers. You don't jump hastily into doing what you are doing. You take calculative step. Stoop to conquer. Have you read that book? Stoop to conquer. You with all your, you calculate, you plan your movement. Igbo nation, then Biafra. That's why you see every time I talk about restructure, because I know restructuring is going to lead into Biafra. Every time you see I'm supporting Yoruba Ronu that are saying Igbo must go, Yoruba jobs or Yoruba, I'm supporting them because I know their actions will eventually lead to an uprising, and that uprising is going to lead to people asking questions. And these questions they are going to ask is going to say, everybody now want to say, let's go back to your tent, O Israel. So the Yoruba Ronu that are doing Yoruba jobs for the Yorubas in Lagos State, this for this in Lagos, it's okay. Igbos, go back to your place and run your team. Then everybody will be good. Then when you say Yoruba jobs Yoruba, look at Akwa Ibom. Prioritize Akwa Ibom indigenes. Prioritize Akwa Ibom indigenes. Now Delta State will now go to those private companies that have so many other indigenes that are not employing Delta State. Delta State will say we have a priority of Delta indigenes in these oil companies, whether it is owned by an Hausa man or Yoruba man. Everybody will be manning their positions in their different states. Then it will lead to another phase of restructuring. So I'm clapping for the Yoruba Ronu, what they are doing. I pray Tinubu does much more than this thing that Tinubu boys are doing. I pray they do it much more hit, so that they will hit a lot of people. They will not start, everybody will start renewing. And when you renew, everybody will now go back to factory setting, then restructuring. From restructuring, it's easier to get a Biafra. So I said it before, there are so many roads to the farm, so many roads to the farm. If you are a Biafran, pray for Nnamdi Kanu that he will be alive. Him being alive is weakening the Nigerian system. People don't understand. You understand in time to come. Nnamdi Kanu alive in detention, in JSS detention. Sit down and think about it. This man is a light shining from that detention. I will talk about Nnamdi Kanu day and night. I can't talk about Ojukwu. I can't talk about Agui. I can't talk about Nnamdi Azikiwe. And Nnamdi Azikiwe and Agui sabotage Igbo chances of building an Igbo nation. I'm telling you, Ojukwu, Nnamdi Kanu, Agui sabotaged Igbo chances of building an Igbo nation. Do you know how many lives, how many people were killed during the war? Do you know how many people were killed during the war? How many Igbo think tanks? How many Igbo professionals? How many Igbo doctors, lawyers, engineers? How many Igbo scientists were killed during the war? Because somebody did not count the cost. So you cannot come on my timeline and be saying, oh, sit down, whatever I'm saying, you sit down and reason about it. Thousands of people were killed in the north. Gowon could not protect the lives of Igbos in the north. Ojukwu took his stand, called people, come back to the southeast. He came back to the southeast. What he will have done is that there will be a code, build up an agenda. And let that agenda stay for 1 year. Understand the terrain, understand the pros and cons, play the long game, and you strike at the right time. The killings, 3 million people died, and the trauma of the war. An average Igbo man wants to see Nigeria as you are denigrating me. Mindset. The trauma of the war has affected a lot of Igbo people. Although Igbos are strong, I've said it before, an Igbo man that is educated, well-traveled, and experienced is like a god. Igbo mans are one of the strongest tribes in the whole world. With all the things I've gone through, they come out brighter. In fact, it is in that suffering, you're suffering an Igbo man, that he comes out brighter and stronger and bigger. It is in that suffering, that thing you are doing to him, he comes out brighter and bigger. So the Igbo man shines in adversity. The Igbo man would have been, if we had carefully planned ourselves in the first republic, if we had carefully planned ourselves, having a code. There's a code in Igbo land. We don't drink garri in Igbo land. Yes, that's a code. That is a code. You come to the southwest, you drink garri, is a normal thing. Yes, that's a code. Number 2, we eat isho poroko in Igbo land. We use it for soup. Yes, that's a code. In Igbo land, if you're going to cook soup, you must use stock fish, isho poroko, stock fish. That's a code. We needed to have a code, then plan for an exit. Solidify, sophisticate ourselves. Build a secret service. Not rushing into declaring the war. Nnamdi Azikiwe came. One Nigeria, one Nigeria. Oga regionalism, one Nigeria, one Nigeria. Agnostic came, he removed secession, and you put us in this place we are today. We will survive. So the person of Nnamdi Kanu is my icon. I stand with Nnamdi Kanu. I stand with him. Whatever way you want to see it, I stand with Nnamdi Kanu. I'm a Biafran. Someone was asking me, are Yoruba supporting Tinubu? I'm supporting Tinubu for restructuring. That's why I'm supporting Tinubu. I will say it. Maybe you don't watch till the end of the video. Maybe I'll start saying why. For those that watch maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, I'll start saying why I don't support Tinubu so that you will know. I'll start telling you my identity. I'm a full-blooded Biafran. Full-blooded. I stand with Nnamdi Kanu ruggedly. We push for restructuring. A system that will, if Nigeria were going to favor us, I will push for Nigeria. But Nigeria will not favor us. Look at what is happening now. It is evident, clear everywhere. Nigeria will not favor us. That's why I'm not pushing for a one Nigeria. I'm pushing for a restructuring. That one Nigeria, as it's not working, if we go back to restructuring, Biafra nation doesn't work, we will not get sense. Then find something that works for us. Something has to work for Africans to be liberated. So, if you think Nnamdi Kanu will be released today, my brother, it is not about emotions. We are not doing emotions. We are not being emotional here. Nnamdi Kanu will keep on telling the world the injustice that the Nigerian government has been carrying out on the Igbo people over the years. If he appears in court, it is an indictment of the federal government. It is an indictment on the justice system, having used different judges. Some even rejected the skit. After having used different judges, they could not find the man guilty. They are looking for a way to prolong and waste this man's time. That is evident in all these things that is happening in the media today. Long live Biafra and long live Nnamdi Kanu.